And we are live. What's up, everybody? Happy Easter and welcome to episode number 21. Hope you guys are doing well. What's up, Tim?
What's up, buddy? Just got done sharing the video. I'm full. Had a good turkey dinner.
That's
Must say it
good.
was pretty darn good. Yeah, it was awesome. It
Nice.
was good. How you doing, buddy?
Just having a good time. Excited for this episode. We have a special
Yes,
guest.
we do. So how about I get into that? Ladies and
Yeah.
gentlemen, tonight we are joined by a UK's 17-year seasoned vet. He started off playing woods ball, journeyed into tournament ball, then realizing that his true love and passion for the sport was in woods ball. Came back a few years ago, running a Titman TMC as his primary, PPQ for his sidearm, then getting picked up by Planet Eclipse and becoming one of the only UK's, actually, I do believe he is the only UK Immortal Army, Mr. Aartwood.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
How you doing, buddy?
Good.
Welcome.
Full of hot cross buns from Easter. It's lovely.
Yeah.
Well, it's nice to have you on, man.
Yeah, it's
Good
an
to be
honor,
here.
man.
Good to be here.
Got a lot of people in the chat here. What's up, guys? Gonna try to keep up with the comments. We got Matt, AJ, Michael, Paul, Rudolph. What's up, Patrick? Yeah, we're gonna talk about a lot of stuff. We're gonna talk about Aartwood's video. We're gonna talk about what is he doing these days. I'm gonna talk about the MG100, the Immortals. We're gonna talk about the really sexy mods that he does for his markers. So there's a lot of stuff to cover here, and we're gonna start with Aartwood being a content creator. You got new videos coming soon?
I'm currently filming what's in my camera bag video because I go through a lot of kit at home and at events. So I thought it'd be quite helpful to, because a lot of people think that it's just, you can just get a GoPro and stick it on your head, which is true. You can absolutely do that.
Yeah.
But I've seem to have amassed a lot of kits that I use for various different. Everything has a set purpose. Everything has a job, and it's like it almost equals the amount of paintball kits I take with me to an event. So
you have a fairly nice size vehicle then that you're taking to the field.
Yeah, I use a catering van because I do catering for a living as well. So
oh, perfect. Nice. There you go.
Work
for work, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's
absolutely.
Good.
AJ saying, "What's up, Michael and Matt? Everybody, you're really respected and loved, which is kind of like the opposite of me. Might be loved, but maybe not much respected, because you do have a very, very specific theme about your videos.
Very unique.
Who influenced you to kind of create these type of videos?
Well, see, it depends where I would start it, because when I first started, there was very little on YouTube for paintball. So it was mainly just kind of trying to make kind of, action films basically were inspiration when I first started. And then the more players started coming in, you got Slim and Hedgehog as a big inspiration. I think Hedgehog in particular was a big turning point for me as well, because when I started magfed, that changed my videos completely. And a lot of that was down to just seeing how he can incorporate stories and kind of narrative to a video.
Right.
And that just always blew me away from the very first video. Because I remember speaking to him before he'd even made his first video about the whole YouTube thing. And then it just kind of snowballed from there. So it's pretty much everybody inspires me in some way or another. So everybody's got their own unique things that kind of just I watch and I think I want to do that. That's great. I want to take that aspect, change that and all that kind of thing. So it's everybody.
I like that.
You got that right, John. Hello, everyone. Time for another great show. Yeah, man.
Yes, it is.
I do like the theme a little bit. It's more cinematic. That was John Adams, Airborne.
Very.
Probably
I like
the scariest player to play against right here. It's
I would say so.
Kidding.
I think he won our battle royale last week.
He did, yeah. Greg, you lost. You played against.
Sorry, buddy.
Who did he play against? Was it Hedgehog? I think you lost to Hedgehog.
I think it was Hedgehog.
Yeah, so I don't know what to tell you, buddy. I voted for you though. That was a fun episode. But I do like the way you do your voiceovers. It's very cinematic. I like that. And then you also have a selfie camera, a camera on your helmet, and you have
Yeah.
your zoom cam, and you had a camera on your back, kind of shows um
Like
what do you
third
call it?
person.
RPG
person,
type
yeah.
of, yeah. So I like that a lot, and it's very unique. But you also have a bit of like a darker theme when it comes to your color choice, and that reminded me a little bit when I watch Hedgehog's videos a little bit.
Yeah.
Does that come from like? Because did you study a film or something like that?
Yeah. Well, I started film school came first, followed
Yeah,
by paintballing. I always learned how to do editing. I learned how to use After Effects. I can't afford to use After Effects, ironically now, but it's kind of just the core fundamentals of editing cleanly was drilled into me before I even started paintballing. So it's kind of that kind of thing. But the whole kind of darker thing and the cinematic thing again also comes back to the kind of action films and things like that. Whenever I'm watching films, DVDs or Netflix or whatever like that, again, you watch that and you think, oh, that it just looks so good.
yeah,
And paintballing videos do have a tendency to look very washed out, very kind of
yeah.
GoPro-y, really.
Dull.
So it's quite nice to try and get away from that. I think a lot of people are used to seeing GoPro footage now, so you don't really tend to get people that are saying, "Oh, I don't like the fisheye
Yeah,
kind of effect." So people's brains are just trained to look at a video, not think that it's an action camera anymore.
yeah.
Right. You
It's
seem
quite
to know a lot
interesting.
about media and stuff like that, like the way we've had a past conversation and stuff like that. Now, was there something that brought you into paintball? Anything specific? Were you, like, for instance, Chris was saying earlier today, he went to Commando and it was a party from his work. They went there to play like that. I was with a wedding party. We went and checked it out, stuff like that. Was there anything that brought you into paintball specific?
Well, I mean, the first time I very firstly played paintball was probably when I was about 12. But it was in a friend's back garden for his birthday, and they used like
Okay.
the old Splat Masters where they had the tubes that go in the top
Yeah,
of the back. I think on the bottom side of the barrel. I think.
yeah.
But I never really bothered it from that point. But then
17 years ago.
no, that's
when you were 12, right? 17 years ago.
When you're
that's when I
12.
first. I mean, 17 years ago was when I really got back into it. But that was much black and white TV time. That was. But it's kind of, I mean, really, what brought me to paintball was out of necessity, effectively, because when I was in film school and I wanted to know how to simulate someone getting shot, so the only way that I could figure out of doing that without using pyrotechnics and squibs was to get a paintball gun, thinking I could buy red paint. But then it turned out that I couldn't buy red paint in the UK. So it was a non-starter. The gun just sat there for a while. And then when I figured out that, oh, hang on, there's sites all around me in the middle of Wales. I can go to these sites. I can take this gun and I can use it. And then it just never stopped, basically.
Yeah.
It was
So
a nice
project.
start.
I do like the way you film and the way you have your own loadout, which is a little bit scary, because you look like you're a very tall guy and you got a bunch of what do you got on your face, some kind of bones and all that.
Yeah, the
like
deer
that.
antlers on my face.
Yeah, I like that a lot. And of course, having a British voiceover really helps.
Well, it took me a long time to do voiceovers. I mean, I was really against doing them because I mean, at the start of when I first started doing them in magfed, I would kind of try and put on a voice kind of thing.
Yeah.
And when I look back at them now, I literally can't listen to them. It's really, really cringy.
You mean like a fake voice?
Yeah, it was kind of like I was trying to do, like kind of a walkie-talkie voices type things.
Oh, okay.
So putting a walkie-talkie somewhere else, recording it through another walkie-talkie.
Gotcha.
And then
I had that idea once.
Yeah, it doesn't work that well. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
So it's
Don't do it,
kind of,
Chris.
I think what
I'm
I
not gonna
find
do
is
it.
that reading from a script really, really helps. So
okay.
I'll go through the whole editing process and then jot down notes as I go. and then
Right.
when I've done the whole edits, then I will write it all down and just read from a script as clearly as possible. So then you don't get the kind of the pauses, the ums, the ahs, and all that kind of thing, and it just makes it more consistent.
What changed
Right.
your mind though? You said you didn't want to do commentary or voiceover, and then you start doing them again. So what
I think
changed your mind?
it's what was missing. I think so many videos that I enjoyed
Yeah.
all had commentary, and I think commentary just it just helps the viewer know what's going on. It's kind of gives them more of an insight of what you're doing, what you're going to do, what you have done, and
Yeah.
it's just more an engaging video to watch rather than just because in your mind you know where you're going to go to the next bunker in the next kind of 10 seconds of the video, but the viewer doesn't know that.
Doesn't know what's going
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, so
It's
it's
very
always good to have that
interesting.
in.
See, I've always, because I'm a big fan. Like, I love movies. Since I was a kid, I would collect them when they were on VHS and then later DVDs. And I've always, when I did my first video, I was like, I don't need to do commentary. It's a movie. Do you know what I mean? I'm probably gonna do something in the description, explain what the mission is, what's happening. But then when I started watching Alabaster Slim and all these videos, I was like, okay, something is missing. I don't want to do commentary, not because I didn't think it was necessary, because I wasn't good at it. I still struggle a little bit to try to explain to the viewers what I was feeling at that specific moment during the game. Do you know what I mean?
I
So,
get you.
but you do it beautifully. I'll tell you that right now. I really enjoy your commentary.
Well, I think a lot of players feel the same way, and it's especially when they're trying to do commentary in English, because you know you got to remember that paintball is like all the way around the world, and there's so many players. Like there's a sniper called Gaffs. I've shared his videos a couple of times on my page on Facebook.
Never heard of him.
And you should go on my Facebook. You should have a look.
I'll do that. I'll make it. I'll definitely do that.
He didn't want to do commentary because he didn't think he was good enough in English.
Yeah.
So when he was talking to me, I said, you know, if it will improve your videos, it really is good. And he started doing it, and you know, it just adds so much. Even though the English isn't perfect, even though it's not kind of like kind of scripted, it just makes the overall experience better.
Yeah.
And I think everybody should try it.
It kind of puts the viewer in the video.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right. That's how I feel sometimes. Like, and myself, although I come on live every week doing the show with Chris and with all our guests and stuff like that, this just comes natural to me to sit here, shoot the shit, talk about whatever's going on, and go with the flow. But myself, when it comes to the voiceovers, I almost feel like I'm pausing and I'm freezing, and I'm getting lost for words on what I want to say. Kind of like Chris was saying, sometimes he finds it hard to find the words to put into what he was doing.
Yeah.
But then when I watch somebody's video, for instance, like yours or somebody else's that's explaining in full detail on what they're about to do and what they're trying to accomplish, it almost puts you, like I said earlier, in that video. It puts you right in that game, man. Like it does. And I think that there's what, and I think that's what really makes a good quality video. I'm definitely smashing the like button when I can feel like I'm part of the video, not just watching it.
Yeah,
for sure, definitely.
Fair enough. I think I've done something. This is like a couple of years ago where I kind of made a decision. I was like, okay, should I spend more time making a video? Before I was just half-assing it. Like 45 minutes, I'm putting a video on, right? And then I decided 2018. I was like, you know what? I can make better. I'm gonna start spending more time. And then I made a post on like a magfed group or something like, and I said, do you guys enjoy videos with commentary versus no commentary? It's like 99% says we want commentary. And I was like, shit, I have to do commentary now. It was terrible, but you do it very well. I think we were having a conversation, you and I, once, and I asked you, are you making a video? Do you have a lot of eliminations? And you told me that's not what you look for when you make a video. You're not looking for elimination for you to create something.
Yeah, I think that came about more because I do have games where I get very few eliminations. So
same here.
It was kind of my style of play is very much getting into corners and kind of getting myself backed into where I wouldn't expect people to think that there's other players there. So when a team has moved on, then I can then hide long enough to then come from behind them. But a lot of that doesn't work out sometimes. So then it results in getting fewer eliminations than if I was just kind of run around and get shot and then run back to the spawn and come back in and so forth. So it's kind of that was just a way of kind of trying to create something without the need for constant kills. I know constant kills are good as well. It's good to have eliminations.
Oh yeah,
but
feels
if,
good
if,
inside.
Yeah, if you have a video that's 12 minutes long and you've shot 2 people, that's a lot of filler that you're going to have to kind of make someone want to play paintball. But that's a difficult sell if you've got very few eliminations.
And see, myself, when I make videos, and not just when I make videos, but myself when I'm on the field, I like to take the command role.
Yeah.
As opposed to being out there killing and getting the kills and flanking people, doing stuff like that. I like to be on the front lines, but I like to help coordinate my players where they need to be, what's going on, because sometimes some players just get stuck, whether they're new players, even veteran players. Sometimes we just get that tunnel vision and we get stuck in that one spot, right? I like to try and coordinate, like, we need 3 over here. We need to do this. So sometimes when people might watch my videos, they might see that, dude, you're not running around a whole lot, doing a whole lot of killing or whatever. But to me, what my job is to do is to help push the players, help get them motivated, keep that going. Because a lot of times you don't see that. A lot of times you just see a lot of players when they hit the field, they just like to do their own thing.
Yeah.
But when it comes to a big game, you can't really just do your own thing. You have to have somebody gelling. That's what we're here to do, right? And kind of like you with your style, you like to be in that corner. You like to be that sneaky guy.
Absolutely.
Like,
well, I mean, you say about generals, it's interesting because in the UK here, when we do magfed games, it's very rare to have the general on the field. So they tend to kind of stay at the spawn or at a command tent, and then every time someone spawns back in, they're given missions. And in my experience, I've always found that, because I've generaled three events, I think, and I've always found that times that I've been on the field is times that I've struggled to win.
Yes, because they can't find you. They don't know what's going on.
Yeah, you're only seeing a small part of a huge game.
That's
and if you're not aware of everything, then you're going to lose.
That's right. So, you're only you're only going to win the match. You're not going to win the battle, right?
Exactly. So I mean, when I see generals with guns on the field, I think, okay, well, this is going to be an easy win, because it's not going to work without a command structure. It's not going to work without teamwork, basically. So you can have lots of little teams that are doing their own thing, but when a game has got so many objectives, it's not just one flag, it's not just one building, it's a lot, then you need someone to push people along.
And it's interesting how you say that, because when I'm a general in a game, what I do is opening push. I will take that opening push and I'll keep my XO back at the command stand, and then I'll get a look at the feel of the field, and I'll understand what's going on. When I run out of paint, run out of air, or if I get hit, that's when I'll come back and I'll swap with my XO and I'll let him know, okay, this is what's going on. This is where we need to be. Then he'll be on the field. And then when he gets hit, we switch it back up. We keep going back and forth, right? So we always have somebody at that command tent that's putting out orders where we need to be, what's going on. And I find that's very successful. My first couple of general games, I was always on the field. We got wiped.
It doesn't work, does it?
It doesn't. It really doesn't.
I can't do none of those. No responsibility. That's all I want.
Chris likes to kill. I like
to shoot people. I'm guilty. You know what? 9 out of 10 games, I don't know what the briefing is saying, or I don't know what the mission is. Oh, we got a
good experience to have. But I wouldn't do it on a regular basis.
Well, I was supposed to be his XO this June. So I was like, Tim, you got the missions, right? But I'm just gonna go shoot those guys up there. Right? I'll see you in a couple of minutes. I don't know.
And I know he would get the mission done. I know he'd get the kills. I know that.
I'll work on the mission. I'm a good soldier that way. But like, and I honestly, I like to, if I need to yell at people, I'll probably yelling at them as I'm shooting the bad guys, which is like,
he's hit. Move up.
Move up. Come on. What are you doing here? Get in the fight. Matt is talking about accents. Don't get me started, Matt.
There's a lot of people in the chat saying that they don't like their own voices, and it's definitely a running theme.
I agree.
Who does? Have you listened to Novorich or Silo?
Yeah. I think it's a case that everybody thinks that they hate their own voice, but then you just got to get past that and think that Not
Yeah.
everybody's going to feel the same way as you, so it's just a matter of.
I'll
just
tell
doing
you,
it.
I'm pretty sure Barker loves his voice, and I can tell you right now, Alabaster's voice is like a voice of an angel.
Hmm.
The
He's
voice of an
so good.
angel.
Yeah, I said it. I know. Mark doesn't watch the podcast or any podcast, so I gotta say it right here. He does have a good voice. He's like he's so good at it, and
What do
that's
you
one
hear
thing you
when he
can't
talks? Do you
copy.
hear like a soft voice, Chris? The
I
voice of an angel. What's the voice of an angel?
I feel like somebody's massaging my shoulders. You know what I mean?
Okay.
All my stress goes away.
All right.
You know what I mean? I feel
Okay.
like 7 feet tall.
Okay. So
Do you want more details?
kind of a little bit of it's on the same topic and whatnot, but it's a little out there from what we were talking about. You started off playing woods ball, then you went to tournament ball. This is what I really wanted to ask you earlier. When we were talking, but I wanted to save it for the show. You went from woods ball to tournament ball. What was it about woods ball that brought you back?
The cost, first and foremost.
Okay.
It was a big difference.
Excluding cost.
There was, I think it came down to with competition. It's exactly that. It's competition. There's a lot of people are playing to win no matter what, and it almost felt like there was not. I don't want to say that it encourages people to cheat, but it kind of feels like people would do anything to win. So by encouraging people to rub paint off bunkers, encouraging people to kind of just full on rush kind of thing. That's not speaking for all speedball, but it's just that was the impression I got. Whereas on woods ball, people just seem to be there for obviously there's two factions and they want to win and all that kind of stuff. But the general thing
system,
is the general thing is just kind of people want to go there, they want to have fun. And playing on huge fields. In the UK, we're really spoilt for kind of Ministry of Defence bases, cool. Abandoned factories, and all that kind of stuff. So
I've seen some of your fields; they look nice.
Yeah, we've got a lot of places like that. That thankfully the organisers like OMG events here in the UK, they go out of their way to get these places.
Okay.
And it makes amazing games. I mean, the last time I played on an actual paintball site is just our home field. So I don't tend to Task Force Paintball, which is also in Wales. But I very rarely go to an actual paintball site anymore, just because there's so many other places that are unique that just are just incredible to play at.
How many fields do you play on in the season?
6. About 6.
You travel then? Like, I'm not saying you travel far or whatnot, but you travel to several different fields then.
Yeah, I mean, my last game took me about 6.5 hours to drive to.
Okay.
That's from Wales to where exactly?
Just the other side of the UK, really. It's just a straight line from one end of Britain to the other end of Britain, effectively.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because I live very far into the corner of Wales, and then so I got to go through all the way through Wales, then all the way through England to get to most of my games.
How is magfed in the UK? Is it very popular, or maybe speedball is still a lot more popular there?
Well, I mean, we do have tournaments here, speedball tournaments here, but it's very much fragmented in the way that speedball has their corner, magfed has their corner. You don't really get a lot of crossover much. There's a lot of pump players and things, but it almost seems like scenario has died.
Really?
A little bit compared to what it used to be. But I
that
think
was
that's
my next question.
Yeah, I think a lot of the scenario players have gone to magfed. So it's kind of, there's now 3 different things. There's speedball, there's scenario, and then there's magfed. So it's kind of diluted everything a little bit.
Okay.
But so it definitely feels
you
like
don't think magfed is on the rise? It's actually you're losing some.
Oh no, I think magfed's on the rise. I think the other aspects of paintball
it's getting
are
more popular.
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh, okay. Paintball in general. Me and Tim were at Battle Royale last year, and we were chatting with Ashley, aka Head and Hedgehog, and he was explaining to us that the rules are a bit different than in North America, where a bounce would hit as elimination.
Yeah.
And you guys also have a couple of things to use on the field, like flashbangs, that kind of stuff that we can't use here.
So that would be dope.
That would be dope. Flashbangs is pretty sweet.
Dude, could you see me run around with flashbangs if those were allowed?
That's the only thing you would run.
That's
Why,
it.
why aren't you allowed to use them?
Because
Just
let
because.
me
I don't know,
let me
Chris.
call the prime minister. You know what? He's busy right now. He got a lot
Yeah,
of stuff on his
he's
plate.
doing a press video.
He's doing a press video. No, we're not allowed to use them. There's some smoke grenades from Enola Gay that they're not allowed to be sold in Canada, which is it's a
Right.
shame. Now, concerning that one specific rule, bounces do count as elimination. Now, after talking to Ashley, we spoke to some of the players, some of the field owners about that when we do our magfed only games, which basically have the same rules as just reg ball, right? And most of them says we don't like that, including I think Slim says the same thing. How would I know that you're eliminated? It bounced. It's called paintball. You need to be marked by a paintball.
Yeah.
So do you guys get like into arguments and stuff? Like, dude, I shot you. It bounced. Prove it. Does that happen on the field?
It depends. I mean, our chrono limit tends to be 280. So if you get hit by a ball, it's going to hurt, and you're going to give a reaction from that ball, especially with first strikes as well. You'll absolutely know when you get hit. So it's the magfed scene here. I very rarely feel that people are cheating. It doesn't really kind of lend itself to that because spawns are reasonably close together. It's not difficult to walk out once you've been shot, and it just removes the whole kind of. You think if you're playing rec ball, for instance, and you've just got a belt and pods, you get hit, you can look down, you can easily see where you've been hit. If you're wearing a full-on tack vest, covered in mags, dump pouches, all that kind of stuff, if you get hit anywhere there, you're not going to be able to find it. You're not going to be able to call
times
a
I've been
marshal.
hit and I didn't even know.
Exactly. So it's better to kind of feel the impact, or you hear the impact, unless you're completely deaf. And then
What's that?
Exactly. So you know
Could be the flashbang you're not allowed to buy.
Yeah, it just removes the whole kind of my hit kind of thing like this. So it's just I know it just increases the flow of the game.
Keep the faster paced game.
Yeah, totally.
I can see that being a positive thing, but it's.
I mean,
I myself wouldn't like it. I myself wouldn't like it.
You wouldn't like it.
I'm always doing stupid shit, so I'd be getting bounces and hits all day.
But now you're getting close to airsoft, where, I mean, if you feel it, then you're out, right?
Yep.
But at the same time, it is only fair that if I shoot you and it didn't break, I still shot you, though. I still hit you. Do you know what I mean? And I think maybe Ashley was making a point where if this guy's wearing 6 t-shirts or he's really padded.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He is going to get a lot of bounce. How is that fair? I understand that as well. But at the same time, I understand what you guys, say about that and what we have here, which it's paintball. So you need to be covered in paint. I guess we like our paintball dirty here, right, Tim?
I'm always dirty playing paintball, brother. And I wear white. Come on.
But then also, in the UK, a lot of our magfed games have to use clear paint because we're using sites that need to be left immaculate. So, if you get hit with clear paint, you're not going to see any of it. I mean, I've pulled like white shells out of my ghillie vest countless times and like whole first strikes that I never felt. But it's kind of, I very rarely are covered in paint. I'm normally covered in mud, but not paint.
Not paint. Have you ever played at Citadel?
No. That's in France. I've only ever played in the UK. I've never gone over to, because the thing is, from my point of view, because I live in the opposite end of where the ferries go across to France. Okay. So I have to travel the entire length of my country first, and then get on a ferry, then drive another 4 hours on the other side through France. So that's why I've never gone to the Citadel.
George, would you ever come to Canada? Would you come to Canada and play ball?
Well, my wife's friend lives in Canada, so it's been on like a kind of an ideas list for a while. So it's one day maybe.
I would like to get you over here. Joe Kipson, if you're ever watching our podcast, like we watch yours, it would be nice that if you've seen Aartwood right here and get him over here for one of the next battle royales. If we ever get out this year, maybe next year, but it would be great.
On the British side. He can play on the British side.
I would need a lot of suitcases.
No, you know what? I want to play with this guy. I don't want to go against him.
Hold on. He's going to play on the British side. I want to play with Aartwood. He's going to play on the British side. And
which is with the Canadians?
The losing side again and again and again and again.
No, we got to make him want to come back.
I'm just saying. He's going to have fun. He's going to have fun.
I think you would have fun. you know what? Even coming to D-Day next year, because if we don't get paintball up and off the ground this year going again, fingers crossed we do, but I don't think it's going to happen. But next year, 100%, we got to get you to D-Day for sure. You would love D-Day.
Well, here's
You
a
would
question.
love it.
What's a big game in Britain? Like, what kind of turnout are you guys looking at?
Well, the main big games here in Britain tend to be North v South, which is like a country divide game. That's probably the biggest pulling game. That's probably a couple of thousand players, 4,000 players.
Wow.
But the place is ginormous. So they've got Airsoft running, they've got magfed running, they've got the big game running, all that kind of thing. So that's a huge game. We used to have Paintfest that had their final year last year, I think, and that was a good couple of thousand people as well.
Yeah,
nice.
But we're now left with Mayhem, which is October time. I've never been to that, but that's a very well attended game. And Barker and his team always go to that one. But there's not that many big games, but we have a consistent magfed game every couple of months, which is kind of the last game was 160 players. So that's what I would consider a good turnout for a magfed game at the moment.
It is. Even up this way, that's a good turnout. A couple hundred people for a magfed only game. That's a good turnout.
Honestly,
it's definitely increasing per event. It's definitely going up and up, but it's also site dependent because some sites won't allow for that many players. So it depends where we're playing.
Now, when you're playing over there, do a lot of your field follow the same rules as one another? Because over here in Ontario, you can go to this field and this counts, this doesn't count, this counts, this doesn't. So when you go, if you're like myself, I travel to a lot of different fields across Ontario. So every weekend, it's pretty much a different rule for me. Do they kind of keep the same rules on different fields around you?
What, from magfed or general?
Just in general, or magfed. Let's divide it out.
Well, I mean, in terms of magfed, there's only really one event organizer in the entire country that does magfed.
That's great.
So it's always the same. Yeah, OMG. So it's always the same rules. It's they've got sniper rules, so you can only have a certain amount of snipers on the field at one time. You can only have a certain amount of box bags on one time. Bounces count. Flashbang kills for 5 meters and all that kind of thing. So you've got those, but then you've got scenario games who don't count bounces. Some games don't allow first strikes. Some games do. There are some mixed games that you can have speedballers as well as magfedders, and then the magfedders are allowed to use first strikes as compensation for being, having hoppers coming against them.
Right.
But it's kind of it depends the style of game. Again, it'll depend on the site as well. But I think the biggest change is whether people are allowed to use first strikes or not.
Okay.
That's you don't shoot a lot of first strikes though. You don't like to use a lot of first strikes.
No. I tend to if I'm going to snipe, then I will use first strikes. But I prefer to get closer to what I'm shooting at than be far away.
When you snipe, do you have a certain marker? Like I see some markers on your back wall right there. Now, do you run a certain marker when you're sniping, or do you stay strictly to the MG100?
Well, at the moment, I strictly to the MG100 because of the Immortal Army.
The Immortal Army, right?
Before that, then I'd use the Hammer 7, which is that one there.
There you go. Yep.
Which is purely for sniping, because it's bolt action. But if you attend a magfed game here, and you want to be sniping, you have to have a bolt action. You can't use a semi-automatic gun, which is why the new first strike bolt action rifle, I think, is going to change quite a lot in terms of getting more people into sniping, because they'll be allowed to use them in the UK at magfed events.
But you guys use a lot of the SAR-12s, right? The bolt action one.
Yeah, there's a few guys with SAR-12s.
Yeah. But
Rudolph in the chat, he has a couple of SAR-12s, I think.
He was busting your balls a couple minutes ago. And we got to get you. Well, he was saying something about finally getting you out of Wales or something like that. He was saying.
Yeah, I get that a lot. Yeah.
Right there, Chris is pulling it up right now.
Yeah.
I think it would be great to have you over here because we've had Ash, we've had Barker, we've had Yellow Guy. Who else have we had? We've had what was the lady's name that came over with Ash and them last year?
Polish Airsoft Girl.
And then there's another
Polish
one.
Airsoft Girl. It'd be great to have you come over here. The whole crew is. That would be awesome.
There's also Drokner, I think, from the UK.
Yeah, Drokner
who was here.
from the Vanguards. Yeah.
They all came here. And
no offense.
So many channels you're missing out on.
You know what? We're gonna link up after this behind the scenes, and I'm gonna write these down and I'm gonna link up to them. 100. But they better follow Tango back because I need some more subscribers to get to at least 500.
It's not about the empty subscribers. You need the views. You need the watch time. You need the views. No point having subscribers if they're not going to watch your content.
There you go.
There we go. There we go. And you know what? We just shared this in the new group Chris created, the creators,
Paintball
content creators. You know what? So there's been a lot of knowledge pumped out tonight for these guys.
Yeah,
I'm glad I shared it there.
Thank you.
Hey, no problem, buddy. I'm here for you.
Thanks, man. And I'm happy you're drinking Heineken.
Nothing but Heineken, buddy.
There you go. I do like that your MG looks very similar to mine. You get the same scope almost. Just curious about what barrel are you using?
The current barrel on it is if I can get it off, is the Quake barrel on the end of that.
Nice.
It doesn't have the where is that? It doesn't have the
suppressor or the muzzle. What do you call it?
Yeah, the other muzzle thing, because it doesn't quite come out the end.
Nice.
But then this would be the kind of thing I would use if I was sniping.
Yeah.
That's at a game that allows first strikes through any marker.
Yeah.
For instance, so I got the scope on there.
Man, that looks really nice. It looks really nice.
But I think if I'm using round ball, I don't use the end bit.
Okay. Oh, so yeah, you like a big tank on.
Yeah, because I'm very much kind of muscle memoried into a speedball type of thing. So I would always hold it kind of like that without the stock.
Like a speedball marker. You hold
exactly.
So I do the same thing. What do you think of the MG? I'm not, obviously going to tell me a lot of positive things about it, but comparing your MG to previous Mac.
Tell it to me. So I'm sorry, I'm first strike all the way, and I won't leave them. But if I was to never have a marker, sell it to me.
Well, it's kind of it's funny how to kind of go from it from different points of view, because if you were to, a lot of it would come down to budget. So if you could afford the MG100, you're quite close to a lot of other markers that you could possibly afford.
That's fair.
But it's just the kind of, if I compare it to the marker I used before it, which was the TMC, just the simplicity of it would just appeal to so many more people. Now, I know that the TMC is still an outstanding marker, and I would still highly recommend it to people that if that's in their budget
friendly.
Because it'd be wrong to deny the fact that is such a good marker. I mean, the whole time I used it, I must have burst 5 balls.
And not only that, I'm looking at your background and I'm seeing how clean and crisp everything is. So I'm assuming you clean your markers quite often, right?
Oh,
but if you did, that TMC would still last you a lifetime.
Exactly. Exactly.
It will, even if you leave it dirty, it's on tipping.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man.
You can throw sand in the barrel. This thing will still shoot. It's just amazing.
I think the only thing that it falls short on is that the chronoing of it can go up and down a little bit because it's not regulated, and also the detents are a bit of a finicky thing when they start to go. But then with the MG100, you can strip it down so fast. You don't have to take off the whole AMC kit to just get to the bolt. You can just take it out the back, and it's just so clean, and it's just easy to use. And I think
less time hanging out and staging.
Exactly. And also the on and off ASA and kind of it's light and it just feels. I mean, I personally like the look of it. I think that's the biggest bugbear with a lot of people that are looking at an MG100 is they just don't like the look of it.
It's the stock for me.
Yeah,
it's the stock with the tank like that in the bottom. But I'm sure you can change that totally right out, right?
No, you can change the stock for sure. But for me, I was the same thing. I was like, it looks weird coming from T15. But then when I got the MG, and I always know that it was Gamma Core. I've shot an ETHA 2. I've shot different markers from Eclipse that had the Gamma Core. So I knew already that I was sold on the performance. But then when I got my MG and I use it with the power stock, I was like, oh, that thing is comfortable, and it's really well balanced because all the weight is on the stock. So if I'm putting my camera on the handguard, I'm putting a scope, it's still heavier in the stock, so it's really well balanced.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
really like that about it.
It's good framing as well because it dips down because my mask is very solid. I know a lot of people use very flexible masks, whereas mine is a very solid mask, and because it has horns on one side, it used to have one on each side, but then I can't aim through a scope if I had the horn there.
Yep.
So that's why I've moved them both to one side. But then with that drop stock, I can look straight down the scope without having to do this. And I see
Gotcha.
so many people aiming through scopes doing this, and it's just
I'm one of them.
It's just
But
so
I've got the
uncomfortable
drop
looking.
stock on the way.
Yeah, see.
I'm so happy.
But you
So,
are
yes.
i5s, though, don't you?
I run i4s or i5s. Yep.
Right, and you still have
And
to
it's
crook
stiff.
your
It's
neck.
stiff. I do. Yep, I do. I have to
Okay.
get in there, and it bothers me.
Because of the T15, even if you get a riser, it's still a bit lower, so you still have to kind of.
But I got that drop stock coming, brothers. So when we do hit the field, look out. My shots are I'm not gonna have to spray and pray. I'm gonna be like you, Chris. I'm gonna be a one shot, one kill kind of guy. Damn it.
No, I use MG.
Whatever. I'm still gonna be that one shot, one kill kind of guy.
No,
Watch.
I believe in you. I believe in you. No, I
Thank you, brother.
I think the MG is great. It was missing one thing. Do you know what I mean? It was one thing to make this thing the best, just absolutely the best magfed marker out there. It was the magazines. You know what I mean?
They're coming, bro. They're coming.
That's the question. Now, you've had a chance to use a couple of those mags, right?
Yeah, at Snake Pit
20
too,
rounders, the continuous.
Okay. How awesome is the MG with continuous mags? Or is it not a big deal for you? Not a big difference between the die and the PE?
I think for me personally, they're not a big deal from the point of view of the way I play, because I don't tend to need to shoot out 20 rounds in quick succession very often. What I did find is when I did test them, that's exactly what I was doing. So I would think, oh, hang on, I got 20 rounds in here. I can absolutely rip whoever I'm shooting at and be done with it. But then I went through 4 mags in like the first 10 minutes of the game, and then
it's
I was
like
walking
Tango.
back.
You're like Tango right here.
Yeah, it makes you more trigger happy, and that I think there's pluses and minuses of it. I think they're going to be
Field owners love you.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, you can just do a lot
Field
better.
owners love you. They see me in a lineup and they're like, "Yeah, here's another half a case."
Well, I mean, my average magfed event, a weekend event, I could probably do a whole weekend event with a bag and a half of paint.
Okay, so are you going by 500 in the bag? Are they the same over there?
500 in a bag. Yeah.
I wish I could do that.
Yeah, you're true.
I remember at Battle Royale, Slim and I, we just started. The game just started, and he was like, "All right, guys, I want everyone to take the flank this way. We're going right." So we take the right side of the flank. We were in contact for about 10 minutes, man. I went through 7 mags. Done. I'm like, Slim, I gotta go get it. I gotta go reload. He's like, here, just take my pistol. And he hands me his FSC. And I was like, yeah, let's get into this.
Do you run with a pistol normally?
Yep, but not that day. I was too
You use
excited
a lot
to
of
hit the field
use a
and
lot of
load up.
pistols. You love your pistols.
I do love my pistols. Yeah.
You like your Walter PPQ. I think it was like the first video that I've seen.
That's an
but
amazing
the
pistol.
PPQ was actually yours. You was like indoor, like inside a building, and you got yourself like 5-6 eliminations.
Yeah,
They're trying to get you. That was a good one. I really
it just gets to my nature, because again, going back to the kind of cornering myself in, I can put myself in such a small position.
Yeah.
And because my kit is very dark as well, it just gives me such an advantage to stop people coming at me. But then as soon as I run out, that's it, I'm dead. So I either put my hand up or get shot.
Are you someone who likes to flank a lot, to be kind of like stealthy and then like pop out of nowhere and get yourself a couple of elimination? Or you're someone who likes to be on the 50, kind of force your way into that, those defensive lines?
I'm quite a lazy player when it comes to boy. I'm not, because I'm very tall, so I stand out very much. So I can't really go to the 50 straight off the start. So I tend to kind of I'm very good at kind of standing back, assessing everything, then working away round what everything else is happening.
So maybe not lazy, you're smart.
I
would say smart. Okay, you go with lazy. I'm gonna go with smart, because you know how many times I'm not lazy, and you know how many times I've tried getting to that 50 off the start, get hit, respawn, go to the 50, and it's just back and forth. But here you are, still on your first live.
I'm just gonna answer Chris's question here. Chris is saying hopefully Dan will make continuous mags. Have good news for you, Chris. The Planet Eclipse magazines are actually compatible with the die dam.
Nice.
There you go, buddy.
Nice.
But
Now,
imagine you got an automatic, you got a, like electronic marker shooting continuous mags. You're gonna run out of magazines way faster than Tim will. So good luck with that.
unless he
Has a
has
box mag
OCD
anyway,
and his
doesn't he?
mags don't match the marker, then he's going to be upset. Besides that, you're golden, brother.
Nobody gives those continuous mags to Wolf. He'll be out of ammo with the first 5 seconds. Wolf loves to shoot that burst, man. You like that burst.
George was saying the same thing in the comments here. How fast he would go through them.
2 minutes. No, I do like the the look that you have on your MG.
I like that.
Kind of matches your loadout a little bit. I like that.
To a T, brother.
I know. So I'm assuming when you're using your continuous mag, you're gonna kind of make the same transformation, right?
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah. They're not going to look new for very long when I get them. Absolutely not.
We're like opposites. So I wanna ask you about you joining the Immortal Army, kind of becoming a sponsored player. Were you sponsored before working with Planet Eclipse?
No.
You've been just a solo player.
Yeah.
So how did that start? Did you talk to them? Did they give you a call? We like your videos.
It was literally Leds kind of emailed me on Facebook. No, messaged me on Facebook to my page out of the blue saying they really enjoyed the videos I was doing. Did I want to try out an MG100? To which I said, absolutely, that'd be amazing. And I had a magfed game coming up.
Click that out of the cart.
Yeah, there was no kind of kind of requisite of what I had to do. They just wanted me to use it and tell them what I thought, and I thought that was just going to be it. I thought it was just going to be get the gun, play with it, send it back, be done, think, oh, that was cool, then I'll buy one later on. But then I did that, and then I did the gameplay video, I did the preview video, both of which
was a good video, great video, by the way.
They went down really, really well, and I put so much effort into it.
Yeah.
And then the next email that came along, it just said, "So can we assume you're a sponsored player now?"
Yeah.
And I was like, I literally kind of spent hours writing a list of questions of kind of what I can do, what I can't do. Do I have to sacrifice my channel? Do I have to change my kits? Do I have to wear HDE stuff? Because I used to wear HDE stuff. But then I changed it for more kind of organic, kind of ribbon stuff.
Did you feel like you have pressure on? Like,
no,
becoming
absolutely
a
not.
player, you didn't feel like you were pressured, like you have to, keep them happy in a way.
No, I laid it down straight away. I said, I don't want to change, or they said they don't want me to change
who you
anything other than the marker that's in my hands.
Wow.
So they wanted me to stay the same. They wanted me to do the same videos. They didn't want me to kind of blow up the MG100 more than what I would normally do. They just wanted me to carry on doing what I'm doing.
Just be you.
But with an MG100. So that it was just the most kind of, I don't know, like the most ultimate gratification for what I've been doing.
Yeah.
Without someone trying to come in and use that to their advantage. Obviously, they've got to get kind of, I don't want to say money's worth, but that we've got to benefit each other. So I benefit by having such a great marker, which I probably wouldn't have afforded anyway.
Yeah, and then it gives you more field time.
Exactly, and then they get more MGs on the field, and it's really nice that when you get players that message you saying, "Oh, I watched your video, I went out and bought an MG, and I couldn't be happier."
Right.
Yeah.
And that's really good. I mean, I got an awful lot of emails when I did the TMC review about people going out buying it, really, really loving it, and it's pretty much the same thing. That it's nice to recommend something that I do believe in, as opposed to just companies just sending you stuff.
That was my next question.
Amazon reviews.
I was going to ask you, like, how easy is it to promote a marker that it works, it's great, it comes organic when you're trying to promote it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think
it pretty much speaks for itself, right?
I think it needs to be honest. I think as long as you're honest, then everything else will come naturally. I think if you artificially blow up something that you're just trying to do it for the sake of getting free stuff, people are going to see right through you, and it's just never going to work.
Yeah.
So you've got to kind of just do your own thing, and then if things come your way, great. If not, then you're still doing your own thing.
That's true.
So keep it real.
Exactly.
Yeah, keep it real. We
Chris,
have
I've
we
never
have
used that
100,
phrase
brother.
in my life. But
we have a question from Matthew here saying, do you either of you have the bank switched or upgraded trigger for the MG?
no.
I don't have it either, Matthew. I honestly like. I know it's a great product. I don't see any reason why I would upgrade. I don't have any issue with the trigger. I think it shoots too fast for my taste. So talk about trigger control. It's there's nothing to be upgraded, to be honest. But if you do upgrade it, it's a good trigger. It's a good replacement trigger for sure. Now we're both part of the Immortal Army. I think it's 5 of us. You're from the UK, I'm from Canada. Zombie Girls from the US. There's also TV from Germany. Another gentleman from the US. Um, do you feel like the Immortal Army is this new team now coming? Because when I talk to you, I feel like you're my teammate. But is it really a team though, or is just kind of a group of players that kind of use the same marker?
I think I think team is the wrong word. I think kind of almost like representatives, but I think that everybody who's online who does paintball content has a responsibility to represent the sport in general anyway. So it just so happens that we happen to be representing like the most renowned company in the world in terms of paintballing. So it's kind of I don't know. It just feels like, not to sound soppy, but it feels like an honor to be able to do that and to be able to say that we're part of a small group of people that have got access to this kind of amazing thing. Really,
I would think you guys are a team as long as you're working together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Helping each other promote, supporting one another and whatnot. You guys are a team that way, I would think.
I think so. I think.
But if you're just doing your own thing and you're like, yeah, whatever, Aartwood, whatever, Zombie Girl, whatever, so and so,
like,
then you're not. But you
I
guys
agree.
work.
I agree what he says.
I talked to Chris, and he's like, listen, I was talking to Aartwood, I was talking to Zombie Girl. These things are work. You guys work together, and that's great. That's almost like a family.
I think we have too many things in common, and I think being part of the Immortal kind of gets us closer to each other. Do you know what I mean? Like,
for sure.
Me and Craig and you, Tim, we are all kind of working towards something. We promote paintball. We're not saying we're doing the best job ever, but we're trying. We're trying to do something.
We're doing the best we can so far, right?
Exactly. So being an Immortal, we're all working to promote Clips MG100, but we're also kind of promoting paintball in general, and I think that kind of what brings us even closer. Now we do have very tough times, to be honest. You got the COVID-19, paintball is shut down everywhere, and for content creator, that creates a challenge. Now for you, you don't only do gameplay video, you also do reviews. You do a couple of things like how to paint your marker. Do you have a couple of projects that you're working on right now, and do you think you'll have enough projects to last you, let's say, till December?
Well, I've got a list of videos that I would quite like to do.
Nice.
The ones I'm currently actively filming for is what's in my camera bag and the loadout video, but I'm not really at a stage where Zombie Girl said that we are a team.
You guys are a great team, man.
I'm not
Canada,
really
UK,
at
USA.
the point of feeling forced to create content for the channel, because I appreciate that everybody is in the same boat, so I don't feel like I need to needlessly make stuff just to keep the channel going.
Okay.
Because I'm active on Instagram, I'm active on Facebook, I engage with stuff like this as well. So it's kind of there was a stage where I was doing a video same day every single month on the dot, and I felt forced. And the second I felt forced, that was it. I stopped.
Yeah, I can't do that. That's too much pressure.
That's that pressure like Chris was talking about earlier, right?
Yeah.
Too much pressure.
I think if you put pressure on yourself, the enjoyment's going to go. You're going to stop doing it.
Yeah.
And you're either going to stop doing it, or your content's going to suffer, and then you're going to be forced to stop doing it.
Yeah.
So it's
you'll be repeating some things over.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I went to art school after normal school, and literally I loved art right up until that point. The second I went there, it drained it out of me completely.
Yeah.
So it's I think that translates to a lot of things in life. So I think you've got to keep your work and your enjoyment separate. I mean, it's great if you can work in something you really enjoy and you don't feel forced. But I personally felt very forced by having a schedule, and I know that goes against all the kind of the YouTube kind of gurus, if you will, who say, oh, you've got to have a schedule, you've got to do this, you've got to do that. I think that goes against all of that. But then, I just think that if you make good content, you're going to just entertain people, and you're going to do some good.
It's true. What do you enjoy more? Do you enjoy creating content or playing?
I enjoy them both equally. I wouldn't do one without the other.
Very smart answer. Yeah. See, I would have said something completely different.
But what would you have said?
What would you say? Yes, it took the words out of my mouth.
So I discovered another hobby when I play paintball, which is creating videos. It's a hobby. It's not like something I have to do. But there's no feeling like being in the hallway of death in PRZ and knowing you're going to get lit up, and then you do something, and then you shoot a couple of guys and you get destroyed. That feeling, that adrenaline, nothing.
That rush,
man, there's nothing like it.
That's why I try making it to the 50 every time.
I've never felt that rush when I was making a video, like, wow. Not really.
No, you know what, Chris? I'm going to call you out on that. Because there's been times, dude, when you've been driving back to Ottawa, you've pulled over and messaged me, dude, this idea I've got right now after playing today, bro, this is sick. I've got this idea. And then the next day I see the video.
That's okay. This is me. I know Greg does it different. Tim does it different. I'm someone who don't have a lot of free time, but if I have 5 hours during a day, I will sit down and I will create a video. And I don't care if the event was yesterday. Do you know what I mean? I don't care. As long as like after a couple of weeks of the last video, I do it.
Chris, I'm cutting you off. What about last year at D-Day? You took a week off to pump out content.
That was I took my vacation.
I hope UPS, if anybody at UPS is watching this, please don't give him shit.
I'm a manager. I don't care.
Okay, he ain't getting in shit. Chris, you took a week off to put out like 4 videos, bro.
No, that's not exactly what happened. So, Craig, it was the biggest game in Canada. It was we had
phenomenal game.
Yeah, Saturday, Sunday, we're camping in the field. It's 45 minutes away from my house, and I decided to take a vacation the following week because I was like, a lot of contact. There's like a MacFed only game on Saturday,
bro. Cheers.
And then the big games on Sunday. I'm just gonna take a couple of days off and take it easy, relax, and make a couple of videos. That's what happened. It's not a big deal.
Don't do this to me, bro.
No, but what I'm saying is, it's I
know what you're saying. You just don't get that like you do when you're in that rush.
By the way, I don't know about you, Craig. I know that you have you sit down, you think about ideas, how to make the video, and and you plan it and all that. For me, I just put the footage in my software, and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna do this. That's what I do, and then that's why it's always half-assed. How do you do yours?
I mean, the first thing I do when I get back is I import everything, but I put it in because obviously I use 4 cameras, or 5 cameras.
5 cameras.
So I got 5 different folders, one for each camera. I've then got another 5 different folders for each day. I then bring them all into the timeline, and I sync them all up first. So that will take me a good 2 days to sync all that footage with the sound. I will then remember the bits that I thought would look good. Okay. And then I try to trim down 2 days worth of footage to about an hour. And then I will then try and work out how I can turn that content into a narrative-driven kind of sequence. And then I start cutting it down and down and down. And then I can add some of the cinematic things. I can start jotting down ideas for the narration and things like that. And it just comes from there. I mean, the last video I did probably took between 60 and 70 hours to make.
Did you say 16 and 17 or 60 and 70?
60 and 70. So that's where it comes in that I enjoy it as much.
A lot of work.
As playing. So it's more like kind of, I enjoy gaming, but I enjoy editing on an equal level. So it's kind of, it's like a relaxation thing for me as well.
So when you come home and you put everything into a folder, do you do one day putting everything in the folder, next day you do your intro or putting a story together, then the last thing's how do you do that?
It's normally probably about a month from start to finish throughout. So I'll sync everything first. That's the most boring part. I try to get that out of the way within the first 2 days. I then slowly cut it down in between doing family time and all that kind of thing. I don't tend to add any cinematics, story, or narration until the very end. So until I know that the gameplay is solid, I can switch between cameras correctly so you don't notice that there's cuts in between time.
Yeah.
And then I know then that from that point, so I've got the gameplay, I've got the kills, and then I've got to build a story of how I got to the point of getting those kills, how I then moved from, if I got shot out, where I moved to, how I went to there and there and there. So I try to make it a beginning, a middle, and an end.
You and I got to talk more because there's more that I want to do to my videos. But if you ask Chris or you ask anybody that knows me, I'm not great when it comes to computers. So for me to put up what I seen, what I was doing that day and upload it to YouTube, to me, that's fine. Hit the like button if you like
concur. I concur. He's not that bad. He's not that bad.
But once Chris or a few others teach me what I'm asking and what I need to know, I'm good to go. But there's so much more that I want to learn and that I want to do because I have so many ideas that's running through my mind that I want to do. But it just doesn't happen. And I just need some.
Don't worry, we'll talk to Craig every night at midnight, UK time, and we'll steal his thoughts.
Boys, they just won a game of Warzone after I came off to come in here. It's not every night.
But see, you see Alabaster Slim. He makes his games, like he says, he's bringing games to life. He makes it like a video game. Like he's, me, like I said to Chris, like my past couple videos, and you've commented on them. I do like at the beginning of them, I'll talk about what's going on because again, I don't like hearing my voice on a voiceover. So I kind of want to explain what's going on first. And where I got that from was Band of Brothers.
Right.
A Band of Brothers, they show the veterans and they're explaining what's going on in their video. And then when you watch the movie or the episode, it unfolds everything. That's kind of what I want to do, but I kind of want to bring more cinematic to it. I want to bring more to it, but maybe we can get chit-chatting after this in a few days or whatever on my next video and we can work together or something. But there's something I got to do to get those subs up, get those views up or something, right, Chris?
Look how excited Aartwood is about that.
No, but he went to school for this. He went to school for and I'm not saying, Chris, that you didn't do it, but he went to school for it. So he has a passion for it. You and other people, to you guys, it's like, yeah, I'm doing a video. Tim, you're asking me this damn thing again. We're with Craig. He's got, you know what I'm trying to get at.
So I am looking for another host to replace Tim. If anybody wants to send me an email.
Bullshit.
Like George says.
Bullshit.
Hey, George recommended.
Bullshit.
I'm trying to look for George there.
Chris is the host. I'm the co-host. They're looking for a new host, not a co-host, bro.
All right. Anyways,
I think they like my beer drinking and swearing.
You are like a pirate. All right, we got to take a little commercial break. So first of all, we're gonna thank the people who are supporting the show, like Social Splatters. Big shout out to Deep Patel, King Deep. Thank you, sir, for your support. Of course, Commando Action Center. This is my local field here in Ottawa. David Marie, thank you guys for all your support. And of course, the Patron, Matt Sauvageau and AJ Small. I really appreciate it, guys, for all your help. You guys make this show happen. Big shout out to Planet Clips, Immortal Army for also supporting us. First Strike. And of course, all of you guys watching, you guys, when you like and share the show, you really help us out. And you guys really helped us get to where we are, which is, we have no idea where it is, but it's fun and we're keep doing it. Craig, I appreciate you coming on the show, brother. I know it's late now in the UK. It's is it past midnight?
It's 1 a.m. here.
It's 1 a.m. So good morning to you. Happy Easter.
Nice day. Yeah, it's Easter Monday.
We're also looking forward to your next video. Hopefully everybody's fine in the UK. And thank you, all of you guys who are watching us from Europe, from the US, from Canada, from all over the world. Tim.
You took the words out of my mouth, bro.
That was pretty good. I didn't shut up. You got to cut me off sometimes. Craig.
Nah, man. You got to cut me off sometimes.
All right. Craig, anything you want to say, buddy, before we shut it down?
Just a thank you for all the people in the chat. Really, I mean, it's lovely reading all the comments. I know it was Gaffed Paintball that I was talking about, the sniper that was a bit unsure about doing
Yes.
commentary. He's now in the. I highly recommend.
Gas. I'm subscribing. Let's subscribe together. Sorry, Craig.
Yeah. You got Connor, who's also Yellow Guy as well, my teammate on Warzone, along with Steve Beergoose.
Oh, Yellow Guy. All right, there we go. You lost last episode. Anyways.
Yeah, so Yellow Guy. I did tell him about that. I linked him to the chat, so he's going to watch that later.
He lost to Callista, so.
Yeah. I can think of worse people to lose to, really. And obviously Zombie Girl as well, so it was great to have her in the chat. It'd be good to have her on the screen down here somewhere. It'd be great.
Yep. Zombie Girl. We're going to get her on the show soon.
She is coming on the show.
Next week, I believe.
I hope
hopefully.
That'll be awesome. Pretty badass player.
Yes, she is.
She's another immortal. So, all right. Well, cheers.
Pleasure.
Happy Easter. Craig, anytime, brother. We always chat. We always talk about our future.
This one's for George.
You
ain't taking my spot, buddy.
He's aiming for it. He's aiming for it. All right, guys.
He ain't getting it.
That's it for me, and we'll see you on the front lines hopefully soon. So peace.